So expectations in your business can be an amazing thing, but they can also be used against you, especially if you don't know what we're about to share in today's video. We want to share how to use expectations for you by allowing them to raise your standards. And when we did this for ourselves personally, it allowed us to almost 5x our business in 1 year so that both me and my wife could leave our jobs. And what's crazy is that we didn't have to spend any more time or energy on the business. We just needed to understand and implement the strategies you're going to hear today. Now, this best starts by me describing what even standards are. Standards are our level of quality that people expect and generally accept as normal. So we all have standards in different areas of our lives. Some of those are higher standards and some of those are not so high. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you have higher standards in one area of your life than in another? I mean, if you have high standards in your health, why do you exercise regularly? Why do you eat healthier? Why do you drink a lot of water? The truth is we all have different motivators, and when we can learn what will help us raise our standards in one area, it will help us raise our standards in another. And then when we set this standard as just our normal expectations, the things that we expect of ourselves and the people that we surround ourselves with, it will get you to show up on an entirely different level without having to use any more time or energy than you normally would have. Today, we want to share 3 different ways that we have found to raise our standards and expectations to see if this will help you raise yours too. Now, these are not the only ways, but there are the ways that helped us the most, as well as many of the entrepreneurs that we have helped coach along the way. Number 1 is a simple question. What fuels you? You see, some people are fueled by their head voice. Maybe somebody will tell you that it's not possible for you, and you kind of feel like that's actually a little bit of a challenge. You have this response of, oh really? Let me show you. Some people that are fueled by their head also have to hit a rock bottom. And once they hit that, they make a decision that they're no longer willing to stay at that level. And it's crazy because that decision is literally a story or a thought that you have in your head, but it can literally transform your entire life. So are you fueled by your head voice? Now, the second place we can be fueled is by our heart voice. Do you think about the impact that you're making for yourself, for your family, and for the world? Are you fueled by the hope that you will give others when you get through hard stuff and you prove to them that it's possible for them too? Are you excited about the impact, the possibilities, what this is going to make possible that's not possible right now? If so, then you're fueled by your heart voice, and it's time to lean in there. Now, the third way we can answer what fuels you is by accepting a challenge. I know a lot of people, like me, joined the 75 Hard Challenge to really step up not only their expectations of themselves, but also their standards, and it has helped transform their life forever. Because once you lean into that challenge and you start to make those habits your daily activities, you'll be amazed just at how far you can go. And don't forget that when you're able to do one hard thing in one area, it's literally evidence that you can do that in another area too. It may look like an entirely different mountain, but it's just because that's the one you're currently climbing right now. You've climbed mountains before, and this one's no different. As a matter of fact, you're probably more prepared than you've ever been because you have all of the knowledge of the last mountain that you climbed. So when I ask you what fuels you, I want you to lean into your head, to your heart, or to a challenge, because those will help you raise your expectations to the levels that you need.
Number 2 is you rise to the level of expectations of your peer group. Who you hang out with will definitely determine your standards. Are they bringing you down or are they lifting you up? Can you take the lead and raise them up for everyone? Maybe you can be the person who sets up a challenge. Number 3 is understand your worth. This isn't whether or not you're capable of doing it. You are 100% capable. It's whether you're willing to find out what you can do to raise your standards. It's about finding that story that will fuel you to feel like taking the actions. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking.
So here's how all 3 of these work in synergy. When you find out what fuels you and you lean into that, you're going to be able to create that inspiration for yourself. When you start hanging out with other people who have higher expectations of themselves, you're going to start taking on those expectations and raising your standards to their level. And when you understand your worth, you have belief that it's possible for you too, you will do the hard things, the new things, the necessary things to help you create something new that you've never had, and stop talking yourself out of doing the difficult things because you know there's only 2 things that can happen. You can either succeed or you can grow. Now, you might get to this point and struggle a lot with this worth, especially when it comes to naming the prices that you're asking other people to pay. That's why we created this next video for you. Tap the screen to watch a workshop that Teresa and I did, where I shared how to set your value and charge what you're worth. And above all, keep leading from the front, leaders.